We're just gonna jump right into it. What is up? It is Samuel Neon. This is my first video. Here we are. We are gonna be doing one of my favorite things in the entire world on this channel. We are going to be talking about film. I am obsessed with film. I've always loved film. Growing up in high school, I wanted to be an actor, director. I've always wanted to work in film. And I've always loved talking about film, talking about the universes they live in, and just everything that involves film. I just thought it would be a good idea to kind of come on here and start reviewing films and kind of just step into the element and, you know, get to know you guys and, you know, kind of just put my 2 cents on movies that I review and movies I like, movies I don't like, and kind of just give my opinion on everything. So, you know, of course, my first video, I think it was better for me to just kind of sit down with you guys and talk and just kind of give a little intro on myself, kind of, you know, show a little bit of me, kind of tell you guys a little bit about myself, what you should be expecting from this channel, and just kind of go about that vibe. So I just turned 20. I'm a 20-year-old. I just entered my 20s, 20 and thriving. I definitely, it's definitely a shock for me. At one point in my life, I did not think I would even enter my 20s. So being here, 20 and in a good place in life is definitely a blessing for sure. I used to live in a small town in Wyoming. I moved to Georgia. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. It definitely was the change I needed for sure. You know, I was tired of living a small town life. I kind of just wanted to go to the city, start pursuing film, and just kind of be on that whole vibe. And of course, ever since COVID, that was a little bit harder with the film industry. But, you know, here we are, we're getting back into it. We're getting back into our film vibes. And just a bit about myself is I am a very, very spontaneous, ambitious person. I just love going with the flow. I love just finding new fun things to do. And that's why I'm really excited to review movies on here because, you know, any suggestions that you guys ever have, anything you ever want me to review, leave down below. You know, give me some suggestions, what you guys think I should review. But, you know, I'm just really excited to kind of step into a different community and just kind of put my voice out there in a different way than I kind of thought I once was. I love psychological thrillers. I love horror. I love anything that has to do with anything that makes you think. I love movies that make you question life in a sense of like your perception and what's kind of going on in the universe. And I just love kind of diving into that. So a lot of the movies that we kind of review on here will be based on things that make you think or, you know, diving into a different perspective. And I love movies that just make you think. I love. So some of my movies on here are definitely going to be movies that make you think. You know, growing up, I kind of was alone a lot in my childhood. In the house, I just kind of had to find fun things to do. And one of those things growing up was film. I am a self-taught actor. I learned a lot of what I did for acting by myself. I would just study films. I would stay home. I would watch movies, on TV shows, on everything. You know, growing up, just kind of falling in love with film. I've always surrounded my life with film. So I've always just wanted to do something in film. Growing that love for it was definitely a huge reason why I'm going to be starting reviewing movies on here. You know, I just think it's really cool to be able to add your own perspective because everybody's perspective on film is going to be different. Everybody is going to think a different thing about a movie. Everybody's going to kind of analyze things differently. I definitely think that I am going to add a cool perspective. I definitely try to keep an open mind when it comes to movies. So I'm definitely going to try and give you guys the best content that I can when it comes to reviewing films. I'm definitely excited to jump into this. Of course, in high school, I was in band, and I was in choir, and I did theater, just all that stuff. I was an artsy kid. I wasn't really I didn't do drawing or really painting in high school, but it definitely shaped me into who I am today. So I definitely love that side of me. Side note, I have really curly eyelashes. You will probably see on my videos, I have really curly eyelashes. So sometimes they get stuck in the corners of my eye. and it like curls down into my eyes and it hurts. If you ever see me like going like this with my eyes, that's like what I'm doing. I don't have lashes on. I just have really curly eyelashes. Where was I going with that? Yes. Ever since I graduated high school, I've kind of been in the flow of like trying to figure out, of course, what I want to do with my life. Oh, if you see me messing with this is for my tripod. I'm just holding it. But after high school, you know, I was just kind of in the vibe of trying to figure out not necessarily who I am as a person. Circumstances in my life kind of made me grow up a lot faster than I should have. That's for a different story. But, you know, I've been trying to figure out kind of necessarily what I would want to do after high school. That was something I kind of always thought about in high school, was what I was going to do. I'm not in college currently, so I just never wanted to take that route of college. That never was me, never my intention. Barely scraped through high school. High school was a weird time for me. I was always kind of fighting myself of what I wanted to do, what kind of person I wanted to be, and I never truly kind of listened to where I wanted to reside. And that first semester after I graduated high school, I did take off. I ended up moving to Salt Lake with a friend, and of course, in that moment, that period of my life, I was very indecisive. I didn't kind of know necessarily what I wanted to do with my life. Not who I was as a person, but just kind of what I wanted to do. And I was very confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do, where I wanted to be. And so I decided, I was like, you know, I'm going to enlist in the Navy. I don't think that it was going to be for me. I think it was just a very spontaneous decision. I'm very spontaneous. Definitely one of those things, if you're going to enlist, I definitely encourage you, think it through. Kind of decide to yourself if this is really what you want to do. And of course, sometimes spontaneous decisions are different for other people. Maybe a spontaneous decision for that person enlisting in the Navy would be great for them. It wasn't for me. So after I got back from Salt Lake, I kind of moved back to my hometown. And my friends, they were going to college in a town over from my hometown. So my brother had lived in that town. So I lived with him. I was working at Wally World, a little Walmart. It was just nice to be around my friends, especially in that time period. I just didn't really know what I was going to do. I started that next semester, I started some classes. I made it a few weeks, and there was this one moment I had in the shower with myself where I broke down and I said, I am over doing things for other people. I'm over being this person that everyone wants me to be. I don't necessarily think that was for me. I definitely think that I was going to be on a different path, and I clearly am now. But I just didn't think that was for me, that life path was for me. So I called my dad, he lives here in Atlanta, and I called him and I was like, Dad, I wanna move. I'm making the big move. Can I come stay with you? And I made the biggest change in my life, one of the best changes I've ever made in my entire life. I moved to a city. I moved here, and of course COVID happened, so I couldn't necessarily do things with film, but now I'm here. Definitely life has its cycles, life has its up and downs. You go through obstacles, you go through little slumps, get in a little funk, but you know, I'm here, and that's the one thing that is truly a blessing, is being able to look back on the things that I've done, be able to look back on who I was as a person a few years ago and kind of feel way more accomplished than I ever have. I'm just excited to be here. I'm just so excited to start this journey and start reviewing film, start reacting to things, and just be on here with you guys and get to know you guys, get to have this sense of community. You know, and of course, this last 8 months, I got to meet one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. And I get to call them my boyfriend, so that is nice. That person, you know who you are. Amazing, truly a blessing. I'm trying to fill these videos with as much positivity as I can when reviewing things. But I'm excited for this journey. So I just wanted to pop on here and kind of give a little intro. I know there's of course so much more for me to kind of go through of my personal life, but I just kind of wanted to introduce myself and kind of get on here and just say hello and let you guys know that videos will be coming every single week. I'm being consistent. We're going to be reviewing things every single week. And if we're not reviewing, we're doing a video every week. I just want to thank you guys for watching. Of course, leave a comment down below, something you want to see, a film you'd want reviewed. It can be old, new, recent, 1990s. We can go through all the decades. But thank you guys so much. I hope to see you guys soon.